Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. Today's video is one that I've been wanting to do for a very long time now because I love watching other YouTubers' reviews of BuildCC, but I personally have never used BuildCC before. So I had this idea in my head for a long time that one day I will just go onto the internet and on like Patreon and Tumblr and download all of their build CC and do one build where I use only the CC and not a single item from the actual game. And that's exactly what I did, and it was so much fun. And of course, as you can see at the moment, I used something like the wall tool from the actual game, or I also put on roofs that are from the actual game, but things like the roof texture or wallpaper and also all of the flowers and all of that stuff is CC. And I had 6 build CC creators that I downloaded stuff from, and I'm going to link all of their like Patreons or Tumblr pages in the description because their build CC was awesome to work with. Those creators were Lil Dika, Harry and Felixandre, the Plumb Up Tea Society, Illogical Sims, Peacemaker, and Lonely Boy. And yeah, I'm going to link their stuff in the description. So if you know their CC, I think that's some of the most popular build CC there is, then you can also play with this build. But yeah, usually I always build without CC so that everyone can download the build. This time that's maybe going to be a little bit more complicated, but I tried to limit the CC creators that I downloaded from so that yeah, at least some people maybe will be able to download it, even though even if some people aren't, it's maybe just pleasant to look at, hopefully in the end. We'll see. And I think it also would have been a super fun idea to take this house and completely decorate it like I'm doing in this video and decorate it with CC and make it look as pretty as possible, and then later taking the same house and just like putting it down without the build CC in my game. So it would basically just be a completely empty shell again, without any wallpaper. I mean, it would still have roofs, and I think the terrain would still be yeah, the terrain manipulation that I did would still be there, but otherwise it would be a completely blank shell. So if I wouldn't have a shell challenge at the moment, that I can also link in the description actually, so if I wouldn't have a current shell challenge, that would have been such a fun idea to do as a shell challenge, especially because I think this house has a very unusual shape, unusual for me and also kind of unusual in general. So maybe one day when I'm going to do a third shell challenge, maybe I'm going to remember this build and then take this as a shell challenge. Let me know what you think of that, because that could be fun. But now let's quickly get back to talking about the actual build and building process before I drift off again. So there were 2 very interesting things that I learned while building this that are also very helpful when I go back to normal and build without CC. But yeah, probably also a lot of the people that are watching me are very great and talented builders themselves. So it's not news to you, but for the people who this is new for, I learned from the amazing Miss Unfortunate that when you press shift while placing an object, you don't have to go back to the build by catalog to kind of click on it over and over again, because with this landscaping there were just like thousands of plants, maybe not thousands, hundreds of plants that I needed to plant, and I was so sick of going down to the build by menu over and over again. So she taught me to press shift, and then I pressed shift alt to be able to freely place it as soon as I had dragged it out once, and then I could just place it over and over and over again without having to go back into the build by menu. And I thought that's so handy, and it saved me so much time. So thank you, Miss Unfortunate. And yeah, I thought I would share that knowledge because it really helped me. And the other thing is not as big, but it is that this lot that I'm building on at the moment is the lot that the Björksen family is living in on that island in, I was about to say Solani, no, in Windenburg, the island in Windenburg, where the Björksen family lives. And this lot is so beautiful, and especially when it is 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. the lighting is just so gorgeous on this lot, and I definitely want to build on this lot more often because I love the lighting here. And yeah, building and decorating this exterior with all of the custom content was so much fun because all of this was so new to me. There was so much to discover, which was a bunch of fun, as I already said like once or twice at least, but it was so fascinating to discover all of this. And there are so many items that I really don't want to miss again as soon as I take this folder out of my game. There also were a few different items where I only had one option, but because I wasn't able to use the stuff from the normal game, I just had to use them even though I didn't like them, or I thought they didn't fit very well to the build. For example, if I would have done this with also the normal stuff from the game, I would have chosen different fences that maybe would have fit the aesthetic a little bit better, and also I would have put in some columns and in the corners of the exterior. But I didn't have CC columns, which is totally my fault, and I also had only this one fence option, so I had to go with it. But I don't think it's very much distracting, or I don't think it lowers the quality of this build, so maybe it wasn't that bad that I didn't have anything else available. And there are also so many items here that I'm just going to miss so dearly when they are gone again. And my favorites for the exterior were two items that were made, I think, by Lonely Boy, and those are like wall decoration items that are actually Victorian roof trims, and they are so gorgeous. I couldn't really use them to the full potential in this build because I wanted the roof to be a little bit curved, and because they were wall decorations and didn't fit in, like they didn't change with the shape of the roof, then of course it was very hard to use them. But if I would do a build like this again, I would definitely go for a Victorian again, and then shape the roof so that it perfectly fits in with these roof trims that are so like intricately detailed for Victorian builds. I am just in love with these items, and that really brought to my attention even more how lackluster the roof trims that we have in the game at the moment actually are, because all of them are just super clean and basically these boxes without any like texture and without any diversity. There are the ones from Solani that are very good for these thatched roofs. These are different, they are textured and they bring some variety into the game. But other than that, all of them are just clean boxes that surround the roof, and that's not very realistic. We need some that just follow the texture and path of the shingles on the roof, for example, or we need some that have these intricate details underneath, like a lot of Victorian builds have. Like, I just want some variety in that department, and that's something that got very apparent from me when I saw these beautiful CC items. And now I have talked for way too long and we are already on the interior, but one thing that I really want to talk about before I talk about the interior is that very nice backyard garden area, or that backyard seating area, because I had so much fun doing it. I think most of the items are from the rustic romance pack or something from Peacemaker, I think it is. And these items are so gorgeous. I especially love these hanging candle holders. I don't know if I describe it correctly because you can't see it at the screen at the moment. I'm going to put in a picture of the portion of the build that I'm talking about at the moment. So I really love the very nice yellow candlelight they give off and how they are hanging from the ceiling. And it just like, oh, this whole backyard area is so cozy, and I would love to have something like this in my dream house or something at the moment. With this one, I was actually inspired by Lil Simsy, who had an awesome video lately where she created a build with a secret garden. I'm going to have to link so much stuff in the description, but look into it. There's a lot of awesome stuff there. and the shape of this house was just kind of perfect for a secret garden like this too. So I made this beautiful seating area, and especially at night it just is so cozy. And I'm very sorry if in this video, this voiceover, I'm a little bit more chatty than normal. I just had one of the best days of my life, because I just had my first affiliate streams and people were so lovely, showered me with love and just blew away all of my expectations. And I still can't believe that stream actually happened. And so that's why I'm just like in a super excited, positive mood, and I hope that doesn't bother you, and I hope some of this happiness maybe can vibe over to you and make you a little happier too, so you don't get annoyed by me being super chatty and happy at the moment. But now I should finally start talking about the interior decoration. And that also was such a fun process, because usually I'm kind of dreading the interior because I already spent so much time on the exterior, and now I have to furnish all of this too. But this time it was super exciting because of all of the new items, and I had already seen them while I downloaded them, and I was just super excited to try them out. And then I started with the kitchen, and there were very positive parts that are way better than with normal game kitchens, and then other parts where I actually think it's maybe a little bit better to have the items like they are in the normal game. So what was a lot better with the CC was there were upper cabinets to the kitchen, and there were way more kitchen options like to decide from than with the normal game. So yeah, I had matching upper cabinets. I was super happy, and they also had some open spaces where some dishes could slot into, which was awesome. And then when with the lower cabinets, if you can call them like that, you had like very nice appliances, very modern looking appliances, and also a fridge that actually had a fitting wood swatch to the rest of the kitchen, which was incredible. And also it slotted correctly. There wasn't a huge gap between the end of the kitchen counter and the fridge, which was amazing. Cece spoiled me with that. But then on the other wall I placed these two open cabinets, and they had nothing in them. I had to slot all of the different glasses that I wanted to have in there, like wine glasses and normal drinking glasses and stuff. All of them had to be placed in there, and also some more dishes or pans or whatever you would need in a kitchen all needed to go in there. And while that is very nice and gives you a great opportunity for variation, it also took a lot of time to place all of these items to fill up these cabinets, while it would have been maybe more handy to have a cabinet that is maybe already half filled up, and then you can maybe decorate the upper two levels of that cabinet on your own with whatever you want to put into them or something. That could be nice, or to have the lower two bars almost filled, but have like one or two spots open if you want to also place a nice flower in them or something like that, but don't have them completely empty. But maybe that's just me because I was in a little bit of rush to finish this build, and it took a little bit of time to fill these cabinets up. And I know that we are already looking at the furnishing upstairs, and I talked way too long about the kitchen, but quickly to say a few words about the living and dining room. I really loved working on them. I feel like in the end they had a very nice and calm energy in this room, and a lot of very nice wood and earth tones with a lot of nice plants and stuff. I really liked the living room. I would like to have a living room like that, I think I can safely say. So in that regard, the CC was amazing again. And I left a few rooms out of these speed builds that I wasn't entirely happy with. Like there is a music room that I left out of the speed build, but you will be able to see those rooms in the cinematic tour at the end. And finally, on the upstairs, I had lots of fun to design very nice bedrooms. I had lots of fun again, like that's basically the description of this house. I had lots of fun with these items, and especially to be able to choose different bed frames from the actual bedding on top of it. It was so much fun and gave me so much freedom, and I totally enjoyed it. And with that, this build is almost complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy, even happier than I am at the moment, if that's even possible. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope we'll see each other again.